In 2000, I was chosen Table Tennis Player of the Century.
Itt az új Európa-bajnoknő. Itt az új Európa-bajnoknő, Bettina Friesekop.
Being at the top is tough, but becoming number one, that's a lot tougher. Hi, my name is Bettina Friesekop. I was a professional table tennis player and now I'm an author and coach, and we're here in Amsterdam. Table tennis is a kind of metaphor for life. So the ball is reacting on the things you do, and sometimes you also get in return what you gave to the opponent.
So when you play against her, you cannot play an easy ball, or when your concentration is not good enough, she will kill you.
When I'm standing behind the table, something inside me is like some aggression. I respond very quickly and I really make sure that I use my adrenaline to overcome myself and even go beyond myself. When I started to play, around 11 years old, it turned out that I was talented, and in a few months I was already the best in my age group in Holland. And already when I was 15 years old, I was the best in Europe. I was European Youth Champion. I practice about 35 till 40 hours a week. You have to rehearse all the time the balls, so your brain recognizes all the patterns which are played. And also I practice on 2 tables at the same time. So I played from the first part of the table till the 4th, so I have to move very quickly. So in the match it was very easy because I only had one part. So I made sure that the training was much more difficult than the match. When I was 16 years old, I was second in top 12. So then I realized, yes, it's possible to be the best in Europe and maybe even the best in the world. My coach wanted to isolate me from the bad influences. I should not dress myself fashionable, or you must not go to parties, you must not have spend your time with other boys or girls. You must practice like hell, and if you don't do that, you never will make it. Nobody practiced that hard in this time. So it was special. China, of course, is the mecca of the table tennis sport. 350 million people play every day. The Chinese women, they are at the top of the world. They have a hegemony of, I think, 40 years. They never lost a world title. I realized I have to go to China to do training there and to gain experience. When I was 18 years, I went to Beijing, and this was exceptional because not many Western players were accepted there. Chinese training camp were even more tough. Only one trainer for me, especially for me, and thousands of balls in one basket, and with the multi-ball, you know, I was doing training over and over and footwork for half an hour. So I had blisters, it was bleeding, and it was so tough. I thought, well, if I come back from China and I'm able to endure the training, I'm sure the result will come soon. After I came from China, I was winning everything in Europe. The most remarkable result and the tournament where I beat the Chinese was the French Open in 1982. And because of this result, I became 5th in the world ranking, and I beat number 1, 2, and 3 of the Chinese world ranked players in one tournament. This was my best year because I also became European champion and top 12 winner. China changed me forever. Later, of course, I was living there for 4 years. In the 90s, I studied Chinese in the university, and I learned much more about the language and also much more about the culture. And maybe that would make me a more complete person. It was in 1983 or 4, table tennis was planned to be an Olympic sport for the first time in 1988. I wanted to go to the Olympic Games. This was also a dream. It was a hard way to this Olympic tournament. I had to endure again a lot of pain and a lot of training. It was a lot of quarrels with my coach. He said to me I was giving away my 2-0 advantage, and he said I was not sharp and I should be sharper, because how can you give away 2-0 and then you became passive? It's not a good feeling to go to the next match. How you end your last game, it decides how you go into the next game. I was reaching quarterfinal, and then I lost to a Czech girl I almost never lost against. And this was a lot of stress and a lot of troubles. And then the break came after the Olympic Games, because he decided I have to quit. In 1996, I was writing my first book, Longing for Beijing, Heimwee naar Peking. And this was about my training courses in China. Writing is also thinking of your own and the reader of the book. And so it's, in a way, it's also like table tennis. You must really go for the game instead of for yourself. And in writing, you do it for the reader. Birkenstocks? Always wear Birkenstocks everywhere. Yes, it's kind of style I like because it's very simple. I'm not liking to follow fashion. My feet have had a lot of stress. I had injections, I had every kind of injuries, and Birkenstock gives me comfort. In 1992, I wanted to do it again and try if I can be maybe European champion for the second time. I changed my trainer and changed my lifestyle. I had a lot of friends and I went out, and still, of course, every day I practiced. And yes, it turned out in the right way, because in Stuttgart 1992, I did it again.
Bettine is very well known. And also when I tell people that she's my trainer, they're like, wow, really? You're so lucky. And she's like a legend here.
My second European title was much more important than the first one. It was a revenge to myself, because it's not interesting, you know, to have a revenge on other people. It's always about yourself.